Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I hope all you guys are having a great day today. It is a very nice day out here in Oregon today, and it's a scorcher out, above 90 degrees by Oregon standards at least. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jeff, and this is one of the vehicles that I have here on the channel. Actually just picked it up last week. Also have a 2018 KLX351 with a big bore, of course, and then a supercharged Corvette. Today we are on the FZ-09, and we're going to do a little bit of a build overview on what it has done to it so far, how I bought it, and I'll give some reasoning as to why I wanted this one, because it had all the parts that I wanted on it, except for a few little things, but I will talk about those in my build plan video. So let's go ahead, get somewhere where I can talk about the build and what I have done to it. So I will see you guys there. Yeah, let's pay attention please. Alright everybody, made it to the lot here. As you guys can see, got the FZ-09. Let's go ahead and start with performance. So right off the bat here, we got a competition worked exhaust. It is the slip-on or the can only. As you can see here, we got it welded on. And then we have the stock headers. And I can tell you one thing, these GP style exhausts, they sound pretty good on the FZ-09. I've heard the Aquapovic, if that's how you say it, and the M4, and they all sound pretty good, but this one sounds the most raw. I'll give you guys a quick sound clip. In order to get the bike running right, you can either get an ECU reflash or you can get this Power Commander 5 here, and that is what we have on this bike. It was tuned by EDR Performance here in Portland, Oregon, and it made a whopping 106 wheel horsepower, which, you know, say what you want, but that's pretty good for my standards, considering that my other bike is the KLX351, which will push out probably about 30 wheel horsepower. Of course, after it's done though, with this ported head and the throttle body, should be making about maybe 33, 34 wheel horsepower, which should be a blast, but we'll have to see when we hit the dyno. Next performance item here we have is my favorite item. I would say it's the DynoJet quick shifter right here. Basically what that allows you to do is clutchless upshifts, and most of the time when I hear people reviewing them, they say that they're pretty clunky at low RPMs, but with this one, shifting at around even 3,000 RPMs, feels pretty solid, and there's really no jerking to it. But once you get up top and really start ripping, grab that quick shifter, that's when things get fun. So in terms of power, that's what we got going for the bike. Now there are other performance related things that's not related to power. We obviously have an aftermarket chain here. Goes pretty good with the bike, blue chain. I'm not sure what the brand of it is. And then the other big performance thing here related to the chain and the drive is we have +2 in the rear, which is pretty good for city riding, and it doesn't really affect it much on the highway. Can still cruise at, you know, 70 to 80 miles an hour down the highway. And coming from the KLX, like I said, cruising 70 to 80 miles an hour down the highway, it feels pretty smooth. Another performance item we have, but not related to horsepower, is the Battle Axe S22 tires. These tires are pretty soft. You can see that it picks up some gravel and whatnot, but I have yet to hit the twisties on them, but from just getting on it, they definitely stick pretty well. I had a little bit of a spirited gravel session in my review video, and yeah, of course it'll spin the tires. It's not really meant for off-road stuff, but hey, maybe in the future we can get some sort of tire that is. Other performance related items that affect how the bike rides is we got stainless steel braided brake lines here. This was one thing I did not know about when I was getting the bike, and honestly I'm pretty happy that they have them, because basically the stainless steel helps with the brake lines expanding it actually helps them to not expand while you're getting on the brakes. With that, the brakes bite pretty hard with the FZ-09 here, and these tires has enough traction to back them up, and you can get on them pretty hard without the tires breaking loose, which is something I thoroughly enjoy, especially since the KLX has knobbies, and this right here has some street tires. For performance related things and things affecting how the bike ride, we have 3 more things. We have the pegs here. We got some Puig pegs, as you can see right there. Next thing we have ASV levers. These levers are C5 ASV levers, and of course they are breakaway levers for the clutch and the brake as well. Some fat bars. I don't know how the fat bars affect the riding position compared to the stock bars, but all I know is that stock bars got bent, and these should hold up a little bit better. Right, now let's go ahead and move on to cosmetic stuff. My favorite item right here is the Mr. Ed's custom moto seat. Compared to the stock seat, it's wider, really soft padding, and this seat doesn't shove you into the gas tank as much as the stock seat. And I've heard a lot of people say the stock seat is hard, and well, quite frankly, on most bikes they are pretty hard. My next items here are the flush mount turn signals and the integrated rear tail light. Still need to get one of these for the KLX. A lot of people, almost every video, tell me to get an integrated tail light. Now this next item right here is going to be super helpful in the winter. We have some heated grips on here. I know riding the KLX in the winter when it's super cold out, my hands will get freezing, have to wear my thick gloves. But hey, now we got some heated grips to keep the hands nice and toasty. Next item, we have the bar end mirrors here, which really clean up the look of the bike. Instead of having your mirrors go up and out right here, well, instead we got bar end mirrors. I might switch them to the underbar mirrors like I have on the KLX, mount them up right here. But so far these bar ends are working pretty well, and they look pretty good too. All right, last few items here for cosmetic stuff. We got a nice tank grip setup, tech spec grip setup. Really helps you in the corners for gripping that gas tank. We have some CB Racing case savers, which I can tell you are nice to have. You don't want to get these cases scratched up, cracked. You know, that'd be pretty bad. That wouldn't be fun replacing. And then protection wise here, we got a radiator guard, GYTR, which is Yamaha's performance brand, as you can see right there. I need to get the side ones too as well. That'll give the radiator full protection until at least we can get something, you know, mounted up over here. And the last item we got here, we got some axle sliders front and then the rear here. But hey, that is gonna do it for the build overview. Now we can go ahead, hop back on the bike, and we'll talk about why these items were important to me and why the FZ-09 is a lot more fun with them. Take a run down the highway to cool off real quick. So as you can tell, one of my favorite things about the FZ-09 is the quick shifter. Riding with the quick shifter is really nice, especially when you're getting onto the highway there or taking off from a stoplight. You just get to go. And hey, clutchless upshifts, it's just so satisfying to clunk it into gear. Now downshifts on the other hand, quick shifter down, I don't know, I think I like rev matching myself. I find myself upshifting and downshifting a bunch just so I can hear that triple too. Besides the quick shifter, that Competition Works exhaust has to be up there too. It just sounds so wicked when you're getting on the throttle. I'll throw in some clips for you guys, getting some rips on right now. So as you can see, the thing rips. Down low, the bike Really sounds deep and bassy, but once you get up top, it screams. And there's nothing like the sound of a triple. Put it in the 4th gear here so you guys can hear what I'm talking about with that low bassiness. Oh yeah. So performance wise, those are my 2 favorite things, the exhaust and the quick shifter. Makes riding the FZ-09 just a different experience than the KLX. Alright, so big reason why I wanted the performance stuff done for when I got the bike, quick shifter exhaust, is because I didn't want to have to put that into the bike. I'd much rather save the money for the other plans I have on the bike. So it was great to have the mods on the bike that I wanted when I got the bike instead of having to do them myself. So with this build, the big reasoning why I wanted to have all the parts, performance-wise, cosmetic, on the bike from the beginning, because this build is going to be focused on not just bolt-on stuff necessarily, or doing new stuff with the bike like the KLX, but instead it's going to be focused on the purpose of the bike. The mods that are going to be done to the bike are going to be things that will help with what I plan to use the bike for, if that makes sense. On the KLX, a lot of the stuff that we're doing is really to test the limits and performance of the bike. You know, a lot of people have already done that with the FZ-09. Gotta be careful getting on the highway there. Don't want the red and blue to sneak up behind me. Since Fun Times got pulled over in the Corvette for the first time yesterday, that's gonna be a fun story. But yeah, anyway, so this video was to, of course, talk about the build of the FZ-09, where it sits right now. As I first got it, it's kind of gonna give a baseline for the transformation of this bike. I listed everything I can and everything I know about the bike, but I also figured that you guys must be curious as to what's done with the bike, so I figured I better make this video explaining what's done to the bike, so like I said, we have a baseline for when we start modding the bike. That is going to be the end of the video. Like I said, just a quick build overview of the FZ-09 right now as it sits, so that way we have a beginning progress marker for when we start modding this bike. A little update on the KLX, the throttle body is going to be back here tomorrow, and so as soon as I get it, I'm going to take it to the guy who has the head, who's porting it right now, so he can finish up the porting, and then we should be good to go. Just got to clean up the head gasket, and then the KLX should be good to go on the dyno. That is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also share it to your friends and those who may enjoy it. And of course, if you're not subscribed already, go down there, hit that subscribe button, get the bell on to keep up with the latest and greatest content. KLX FZ-09 Corvette. Summer's already off to a good start. You got a bunch of car meets going, building on the KLX, new bike. Let's keep it going, everybody. So with all that being said, join the club, and I'll see you in the next one.